Hi there, classic rock lovers, and welcome to Classic Reviews, where we review classic rock albums. And today, we have an exciting treat for you. So get ready for an epic CD review that will hopefully leave you craving to listen to this band. The CD we will be reviewing will be a live CD by the British heavy metal band Black Sabbath. The concert that's being played of this CD is from a gig at the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts on the 4th of November in 1983. I think quite right open this gig, and this CD is a fairly recent bootleg release that's like my Metallica CD that I reviewed, rather than a proper mixed live album like UFO Strangers in the Night that I reviewed. This concert was part of the Born Again tour, which is promoting the album of the same name, which came out in September of 1983. And this tour featured an oversized Stonehenge stage setup. Black Sabbath's lineup at this time featured Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler on guitar and bass, Beth Bevan from Move and ELO on drums, and Deep Purple singer Ian Gillan, hence the title Deep Black. Original drummer Bill Ward was involved in the recording of the Born Again album, but was not in the right frame of mind to be able to take part in the tour. Before I go through the track list, I'm going to give a bit of background on this time period for Black Sabbath. After Ronnie James Dio and Vinny Appice left the band, this was the start of a career lull for Black Sabbath. Their manager at the time, Don Arden, was the one who first suggested Ian Gillan, who was a free agent at the time after prematurely dissolving his own band, Gillan, to have vocal surgery. Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler were more looking at singers such as David Coverdale and Robert Plant, but after a night of heavy drinking at a pub in Oxford, Ian Gillan ended up joining the band. Despite Ian Gillan isolating himself a little bit, the recording of the Born Again album went well and it was well received, but I think things started to go downhill once the band started touring. So this live CD opens with the original studio recording of a song called Superstar, if I pronounce that right, that's being broadcasted live to the audience before the band burst onto the stage and start performing the song Children of the Grave. While I can't fault the original members Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, I feel that drummer Beth Bevan may not be a heavy enough drummer for Sabbath. On a more positive note, Ian Gillan does sing well on this song. He definitely has better phrasing than Ozzy, but at the same time, you could say he sounds a bit hesitant, as I know he had difficulty with the lyrics to the classic Ozzy stuff. The third song on this bootleg CD is called Hotline. This is one of the new songs that's being played at this concert, and some people will say that the riff from Hotline inspired the legendary Beastie Boys song Fight for Your Right. In terms of the live performance, it's a very solid high-energy live performance. The main thing I can think of to say is that Ian Gillan's screams get a lot better after the guitar solo. You can tell that earlier in the song he's pacing himself and timing his screams. And I know he had vocal problems the year before in his band Gillan, and a lot of people have said that Ian Gillan's voice weren't the same after his time in Black Sabbath. Track number 4 from this concert is the classic track War Pigs. I must say Ian Gillan does a great job singing this song, and this has to be one of the best performances on this CD. However, the only bad thing about this performance is that the drumming seems a bit off at times. The fifth song of this CD is another classic Black Sabbath song, and it's the song called Iron Man. This is the longest song of this CD, being about 9 minutes long, and the keyboard intro you hear is off-stage keyboard player Jeff Nichols playing an instrumental track from the Born Again album called Stonehenge. And the Stonehenge intro does go very well with the opening drum beat of Iron Man, and with the actual song Iron Man, Ian Gillan does a good job despite sounding a bit hesitant. The sixth song on this CD is called Zero the Hero. I think this is the most well-known song from the Born Again album, and some people say that this inspired the Guns N' Roses classic Paradise City. Although not listed, the intro you hear is an instrumental track called The Dark, and then the song Zero the Hero starts. Overall, the live performance ain't bad, but you can tell that Ian Gillan is sounding a bit winded and basically struggles through a lot of the song. Track number 7 is called Heaven and Hell. This is the only Dio Black Sabbath song that Ian Gillan sings at this particular concert. He did sing Neon Nights at other concerts, but obviously not this one. Anyway, I wouldn't say this is a bad live performance, but at the same time, it's definitely not the best live performance of Heaven and Hell you'll hear either. Not only do you get a feeling that drummer Beth Bevan might not be into the song, but Ian Gillan is having his own struggles too. As you can tell, he's struggling with his voice and he does flub and improvise his own lyrics too. Track number 8 is a between 8 and 9 minute long guitar solo, where Tony Iommi incorporates different styles of guitar soloing, whether it's the fast 80s rock style guitar solo or him improvising from his jazzy and blues backgrounds. And Jeff Nichols certainly adds more depth to the guitar soloing with his keyboards. Track number 9 of this bootleg is called Digital Bitch. I can't think of much to say about this song really. It's an energetic live performance of a song that sounds more like a Deep Purple song than a Black Sabbath song, hence why you might be able to tell that Ian Gillan sounds more comfortable singing this song compared to others. And some people say that this was written about Black Sabbath's manager Don Arden's daughter, which is none other than Sharon Osbourne. The third to last song is Black Sabbath's title track. Now this has to be the best live performance on this CD, and one of the best versions of Black Sabbath's title track you'll ever hear. The main reason for that is because of how terrifying Ian Gillan sounds, with the evil type maniacal laughing that he adds to what is an already very haunting song. The second to last song on this CD must have been quite the crowd pleaser. It's Black Sabbath covering the Deep Purple classic Smoke of Water. It does make sense that this lineup of Black Sabbath would cover this song, considering that Ian Gillan is Deep Purple's singer. This has to be one of the best live versions of this rock classic. Like with the song Digital Bitch, Ian Gillan is more comfortable singing this song, while the rest of the band make this song even heavier. Unlike the original, you don't hear any keyboards, and Tony Iommi follows the structure of the original guitar solo, but at the same time still makes it his own. Of course, the last song on this Black Sabbath bootleg is the song Paranoid. Not too much to say about this performance really. Great live performance all round, with a bit of a different guitar solo and some great screams at the end of the song, which includes Ian Gillan screaming over the Heaven and Hell riff that gets thrown in. So that's the 12 song track by track done. 12 songs may not seem a lot of songs for a live concert, especially with a band like Black Sabbath, but 75% of the songs on here are over 5 minutes long. In fact, about 25% of the songs on here are over 8 minutes long, so it evens itself out. I will say, with this being a bootleg CD, sound quality ain't going to be the best, but in this instance, it's not bad. And despite the fact that drummer Bev Bevan and Ian Gillan may not have been suited or comfortable with some of the Black Sabbath material, this was still a great concert overall. It's certainly interesting to hear how Ian Gillan approaches the classic Sabbath songs, and you get to hear a few of his own Sabbath songs too. He absolutely nails the songs War Pigs and Black Sabbath, plus you get to hear great live performances of Smoke of Water and Paranoid. I know I've criticised drummer Bev Bevan a bit, but credit where it's due for him stepping in when he did, due to Bill Ward not being able to tour. So I don't know how long Bev Bevan had to rehearse and learn the songs, etc. Despite this lineup only lasting a year, and Ian Gillan blowing his voice on the tour, he has since worked with members of Black Sabbath over years, and I would like to see more of these bootleg releases with the different singers Black Sabbath have had over the years. So that's a wrap, folks. We've reached the end of our captivating CD review journey. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming reviews, etc. Trust me that you don't want to miss them. This is Classic Reviews. Check out the 2 videos at the end, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.